Well, how about that? Let's go ahead and make a change here. This should not say graphing. This should be by elimination and substitution. That's actually what that should say. Elimination and substitution. So, I hope you guys are having a great Monday. I will actually be back to see you guys tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. We got a lot of catching up to do, a little bit of getting to know each other, as well as hopefully learning this material. So we're going to be doing solving systems of equations, and this time we're going to do elimination and substitution method. And you can do elimination and or substitution method anytime you want, but there is times that one is easier than the other. So I suggest you guys to look at which one is easier, and I'll kind of point that out at which point. So when you have an equation that looks like this, okay, this is 3x plus 6y equals negative 6 and 5x minus 2y equals 14. And this is a system of equations, and we're looking for when is this going to be when are they going to be equal? Sorry, I was a little distracted there for a second. When are we going to find where is the solution for these, and how do we find that? So the easiest thing to do here at this point is elimination method. I want to manipulate both equations, one or both. It depends on what you have here for you, but I want to manipulate one of them or both of them so that I can add these two equations together and get rid of one of my variables. So I just want to try to pick whichever one has the smallest and the easiest numbers. So for example, 3 and 5, right now if I add these, I'd end up with 8x, right? And I need this one to be, one of these to be the opposite of the other, so that when I add them, they become 0. And the same thing here with 6y and 2y. Now I know that by looking at these that I can't multiply 3 by something to get 5, and I can't multiply 2 by something, or actually I can't, I can't multiply 3 by something to get 5. But I can, however, multiply 2 by something to get it to be the opposite of 6. So I'm going to look at doing that. So I'm going to multiply this entire equation by 3. And I want this number to be the opposite of this one, so that when I add these two equations together, the y's cancel out. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's rewrite our equation now. So we get 3x plus 6y. Actually, you know what? Let me actually try something here. It might make my life a little bit easier for this particular problem. So we'd get 3x plus 6y equals negative 6. And then we would get 3 times 5 is 15x minus, and actually here, let me do these one at a time here. So this one I just rewrote, and then this one here would be 15x minus 6y equals, and 4 times 13, 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4, so that would be 42. And I'm just going to keep them lined up just the way they were before, and let's go ahead and put our line underneath it again. And now I want to add these two equations together. Okay, so 15 and 3 is going to be 18x. These will give me 0, and this is going to be 42 minus 6 is going to be minus 36, excuse me, positive 36. Okay, and actually here, forget it. I'm just going to try to type these up as much as I can, so it makes it a little bit easier for you guys to see. So that's going to be 18x equals 36. Okay, and then from here I'm going to solve for x. So I'm going to divide by 18. And I get x equals 2. Now, Now I got x equals 2, but I'm not finished quite yet. So I am going to actually take this, and I'm going to plug it back in up here to see what y is. Okay, so now I'm going to take 3 times 2 plus 6y equals negative 6. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to solve this for y. So this is going to be 6 plus 6y equals negative 6. I'm going to subtract 6 to both sides. I get 6y equals negative 12. And now I'm going to divide everything by 6. And I get y equals negative 2. So this would give me my solution then. This would give me my solution then of 2 comma negative 2. And this would actually be my answer, right? We don't want to do that. Back. And this. Okay, so it'd give me my solution of 2 and negative 2. And then what I also would like you to do is you can take this solution just like we did yesterday, and we can plug it into 5x minus 2y equals 14. And if that is true, then that means that I didn't make a mistake and this is my correct answer. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to example number 2, which is about substitution method. And with substitution method, we need to, you can use substitution method at any time, but when it's easiest is when you have one equation that's solved for one of the variables. For example, equation 1 we have x plus y equals 6. Equation 2 we have x equals. So I don't have, the equations don't look the same. So I can take this here and I can plug this in for x right there, which then will give me y plus 2 plus y equals 6. And now I'm going to just turn around and I'm going to solve for y now. We know that we shouldn't need the parentheses because y plus 2 plus y, based on the commutative property of addition, tells me that I don't need the parentheses. I can add those in any order because they're all the same. So I can get rid of my parentheses, and that'll give me y plus 2 plus y equals 6. And then from here, I can go ahead and combine my like terms, which gives me 2y plus 2 equals 6. And now I have an equation to which I can actually solve. So I'm going to subtract 2 to both sides. And I get 2y equals 4. And then I'm going to divide by 2. And I get y equals 2. And then again, just like the last problem, I'm going to take this and you can plug it into either one of these two equations, whichever one is easier. I think plugging it into the second equation will be the easiest. So now I'm going to say x equals y, which we just said is 2, plus 2. And I add those together and I get x equals 4, which gives me my solution now of 4 comma 2. And again, just like we did before, or just like I told you before, you can actually take this and plug it in. So I'll actually show you here now. So for your check, so for my check, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to say x was 4 plus y is 2, and that should equal 6. And I know, oops, let me actually fix that then. And this should be 4. There we go. And I know that 4 plus 2 is actually going to be 6 equals 6. So this checks, which means this is the correct answer. And I do suggest you checking your answers, because sometimes you might make a simple math error in this step, and then you get a different number here, which then makes the problem incorrect. So this is solving systems of equations by elimination and substitution. This is going to take some practice, and I know I only went over one example of each, but that's the benefit of it being a video, is that you can rewind it, you can fast forward, pause it, any of that nature. You can watch it during class while you're trying to do your work, okay? So I suggest using this while you're trying to do your work. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it, and have a great evening.